So anyways, The Wedding Singer, it's a film that stars Adam Sandler as Robbie Hart, who's obviously a wedding singer who's supposed to marry a woman named Linda, but sadly she does not show up to the wedding, and before that he meets a young girl at the beginning named Julia Sullivan, who is played by the... I can't even say her name, Drew Barrymore. Know like who she was or Adam Sandler. I mean, I was just too young to even care. But I mean, like, I think one of the reasons I watched it twice in a row was because I was just immediately in love with her. You know, lusting over her character.
But she's so sweet in the movie. She's so cute.
Yeah, very sweet girl, very humble, down to earth.
Yeah, their chemistry together, even like as acting and on set and stuff, it seemed real.
Yeah, definitely. Like the thing about like Drew Barrymore's acting in that movie, it just like the character just seems so like different apart from like a lot of the other characters she's played.
I agree. And it is
like, maybe the closest would be 50 First Dates, but I don't know. I feel like she's a little bit more subdued on The Wedding Singer.
Exactly. More innocent too. I mean, obviously she's kind of naive in some ways, but
yeah, definitely.
I mean, yeah, eventually, because you were saying like Waterboy was one of the other ones, but he also directed like Click, and then with Drew Barrymore, Blended.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that came out like 2014, I think.
Gosh, when I saw that movie, it was horrible in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just
box office flop.
It's cheesy, that's for sure. But it's just funny how like this was one of probably their first movies together, right? Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, I believe this was their first movie together. I think one of 3, so they've done 3 together, right?
It's like
50 First Dates.
Yeah. At least, it was a good start for sure.
Yeah, was there a character that stood out to you that you liked a lot in the movie?
I mean, obviously, I love Drew Barrymore. I just love her as an actress because I just think she'd be such a cool person to hang out with, and then her movies are just so fun. Like I said, she's just so innocent and cute. But of course, Adam Sandler as Robbie, like, is fun because he sings at weddings, and it's just a cool gig to have and everything.
Right, yeah, he definitely has a cool job. I would love to do that.
Exactly.
Get paid. I don't know if he makes decent money. Even if you weren't making decent money, it'd be a good, like, side gig or something, singing.
No, it's fun. It's random. I guess, because they hint at it in the movie how he was part of, like, a rock band or something. That's how Linda fell in love with him, so... It's funny how he ended up...
I still got the spinach pants, something. It's like, hey, dude, move your mouth when you speak.
It's so true.
I was going to say, actually, like, Robbie Hart, I don't hate him, his character. Like, I do like him, but, like, I do think it's, like, one of Adam Sandler's, like, better roles when it comes to acting. Like, because he seems like he knows how to play such a, like, overly emotional character as opposed to just always being the goofball that he did like
more
Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore.
Exactly, yeah. It's not just fun.
Oh yeah, it's definitely an overall fun movie.
I think my other favorite character cracks me up every time she's on, well, I'm guessing.
Oh, Christine Taylor? Or?
No, Arquette.
Alexis Arquette
playing as like Boy George.
That's right,
fucking hilarious. Like when she goes up there and starts singing, and it's just it's just over exaggerated. No one likes it, and I just thought it was funny. Like just always in the background and stuff like that. That was another fun little thing to watch.
Yeah, his funny. Or her? Is it a her?
I see it. Well, I don't know.
Transgender,
she was
right?
transgender then or not, what she identified as, but. Yeah.
Definitely one of the more underrated characters.
It's
for sure.
So funny. I mean, I thought she sang well. I thought it was great. But that was
kind
of funny. I didn't realize, like, because Robbie kept referring to her as, like, George. I'm like, I was like, oh, Boy George. That's what she's trying to impersonate, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah, who else is going to help me with this wedding? George?
But yeah, those are the two I mean, there's another little character that I freaking crack up over is his nephew. I think his name's Petey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, bitch! I died when I first heard that. He's got Tourette's or something. I was dying. I was like, just the way he comes out and just like bad acting, his little smile.
Just like, waving at him.
So funny. Yeah, I like that part.
Kids do say the darndest things. But are they the darndest things?
But it was
pretty
true.
truthful. She was kind of a bitch.
And he was being all like, oh, don't be mean about Linda, blah, blah. No, she was a bitch.
Be nice, even though she was a sad, total cunt.
Mm-hmm.
I think Linda should have been with Glenn.
Okay, so that's something I was going to talk about later, was...
Really? I know it's funny, I was kind of saving that too, but it just, I guess we might as well talk about it now.
It's like a fan story or fan fiction, like, Linda and Glenn would be perfect. She wants somebody who is high roller, rich, money, successful. And he's a fucking sleazeball. And
yeah,
she
he's
looks kind of
superficial.
slutty.
They're both superficial.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why they're so perfect.
I'm surprised it almost didn't hint at that towards the end or something. I guess
right,
that
would have been
too
funny.
cheesy, but
or it would have been like a nice end of the credits surprise type of deal.
I guess in a way, in the end, though, I didn't like Glenn or Linda, but I guess you don't want them to have a happy ending in a way, so maybe
right, yeah. I mean, they both sucked pretty bad.
Yeah, but
I mean, there's a few moments where I'm like, I know how Glenn feels when he's like, sounds like someone needs a drink. I'm not a drinker. Well, I am. But how about Sandler? I'm at the bar. I gotta piss first.
And at least he did agree to go with them to the bar and do a little night out thing with.
He's weird because it's he's almost. I'm not gonna lie. There's some things about him where he's almost likable.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously he's a total douche and sleazeball. I mean, he's cheating on her. He's cheating on one of the most beautiful women on the planet.
Yeah, and 10 days prior to
and then he tells Adam Sandler's character Robbie that he's doing it, even though they're best friends.
Okay, so that's something that really is frustrating for me. Is why did Robbie or Adam Sandler never tell her, Julia? I don't understand that.
Well, he's such a Christine Taylor in the movie. Who am I to break up their marriage?
I just thought that was really frustrating.
But it's almost Glenn's character maybe deep down subconsciously wanted it to fall through. I mean, who knows? It's just, or maybe he just had one too many Heinekens. So he was just fuck it.
No, I can see that. I mean, that's true, because he's just basically why not marry her? I could trust her, because I've been with her this long. And he just obviously didn't really love her or anything, but
I know, it's so
just
sad.
a naive relationship. I mean, even
he definitely seems a great deal older than her, too.
I can see that. Just, little things, I don't know, not taking care of her when she was really sick. He was more concerned about his car and that she was sick in the car versus her being sick.
Don't puke in the car.
Yeah, it's take a week to
Stink for a week.
Yeah, right? It's that's your fiance. Take care of her.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of ties in with the end song, too.
Right, yeah. A couple of my favorite characters from the movie who are actually uncredited in the roles is Steve Buscemi.
I was going to bring that up.
As the groom's brother, David.
Well, I could see you being that character.
No, that's...
Man's going to come up here and say a few words, so let's put our hands together for the groom's brother, David.
Oh! My brother Harold asked me to be the best man at his wedding. I was like, sure, man. You've always been there for me.
In rehab. And the time I couldn't find my car.
Harold, he's always been the dependable one. And always been the fucked up one. Right, Dad?
I'm a person too, Bob, goddammit. I'm a person too.
He's playing the guitar now. Sounds good, huh? Sounds good? That's 'cause I'm the best guitar player in the world! Alright, best man, everybody. Yeah, best man, the better man.
Definitely a drunk where he's feeling everything. He's I'm sad, I'm pissed, I'm happy. How do I feel? His problem was he just needed to smoke some weed.
Well, it was funny because I did look into that. I was like, okay, does he come up later on in the movie? In the end, he does sing one of the end songs. But you're right. He is uncredited. I had to scroll through there to see.
Uncredited, very funny.
Yeah.
Very
oh my gosh, so fucking funny. And then he just pops up randomly.
Yeah, and then John Lovitz, who's the wedding singer guy that is auditioning for Drew Barrymore's wedding.
I was gonna bring
That's
that
just
back. What was his song?
Ridiculous.
I have this written down.
Yes, it's ladies' night.
It's called "Sock in My Crotch" song.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Oh my god.
Dude, I just love that whole thing. Okay, gotta have a different wedding singer. He was just flirting with her. He was just awful, totally over the top, and just
he
cheese
was
ball.
way too confident.
Oh my god, it cracked me up though. It was just so funny. I was like, oh my goodness.
I like it too when he's like, is this how I look? When she's like, no,
you're better.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, another lady she appears a lot. My other favorite character is Rosie, right? The old lady.
Oh, the old lady, yeah.
Fucking cute as shit, and she pays him with meatballs. Right? And she grabs his hands as he's trying to leave.
You can just tell he's like, can I leave?
Tupperware.
Dude, that lady is tweaking on all of the Adderall, all of the Vicodin, and God only knows what.
She's probably on so much painkillers.
Yeah.
So wait, he went there just to teach her music lessons, or
right? Yeah, giving her music lessons. I think teaching her just that one particular song.
I think so. Yeah, and then obviously she became friends with Julia too. But that's so freaking hilarious. She's so sweet, and in the end, she ends up singing a little song. But cute lady.
Oh, definitely.
Oh.
Yeah, so the soundtrack, I definitely want to go over the soundtrack because that, oh my gosh. I remember even as a young kid, I remember rewatching it when I was like 11 years old.
Right.
And, you know, this is obviously years before YouTube and, you know, being able to, like, download music. You actually had to buy CDs!
What?
But anyways, yeah, I kept rewinding the part where they go to the nightclub and it plays, you know, like, I think it starts off playing New Order's Blue Monday, and then it goes into, like, playing some David Bowie, China Girl.
Yes, because they were, like, fangirling over David Bowie.
Yeah,
but she is hot in a weird, creepy way.
Right.
It's so true.
It's kind of got the androgynous look.
Exactly.
But what really did it for me is like the part where it plays like that B-52 song, Private Idaho.
That's so
apparently
fun.
it's like a party mix edit version. But I don't know, I just remember rewinding that part over and over just as a young kid being like, man, that's so cool.
It kind of introduced you to a lot of fun bands and stuff like that. And just
definitely. I mean, there's Thompson Twins, there's Psychedelic Furs, there's the Smiths.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like, I guess Culture Club. Yeah, the Do You Really Wanna Hurt Me?
Yes. Well, then what was that? Pass the Dutchie when
Oh yeah, musical youth. Pass the Dutchie. Yeah, that is a
That's
fucking
a funny
part.
song. Like, oh, that was funny.
Which that brings me to I forgot to mention Alan Covert's character who plays Sammy, Robbie's best friend.
Yeah.
He's he's hilarious.
He is, and he is such a pervert. I mean,
He's
he
definitely
really
a pervert and a
is.
little bit of a sleazeball,
Yeah.
but. Like, I don't know, he seems like the happiest person in the movie.
No, you're
like, the
right.
only person that's, like, seems to be mildly content despite the conversation in the bar where he's
Exactly.
like,
He's like, I want to be happy. And then the old guy's like, I can help you out or give you a hug. I don't know what he said to him.
Right,
It's
yeah.
funny.
You need a prostitute.
Yeah, you need a prostitute. But yeah, it's true. Like he was funny and just a side character. And then he like comes in when Robbie got broken up with Linda, and he's like, "Oh, your sheets are nice." He's like, he talks
He
about
used
his mom.
Downey?
Yeah.
Nah.
It's just so random. It's just he's just a funny guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's like, and then that's also kind of like Julia's sister Holly, right? Not her name.
Or no, her cousin.
Her cousin,
Yeah,
okay.
Holly. Yeah, Christine.
I
Taylor,
liked
yeah.
her a lot.
Yeah, she's nice. She's cool.
I get her confused a little bit with is it Christina Applegate from Clueless? Who plays the Clueless? I get her.
Are you talking about Cher, Alicia Silverstone?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, this one she was from The Craft and stuff like that. But she was fun. I mean,
I was gonna ask, do you have a favorite part from the movie?
let's see.
I mean, there's so many.
There is a
amazing
lot.
Parts.
I mean,
one of my favorite parts is definitely the obviously Steve Buscemi's part where he gives that speech as the best man.
Mm-hmm.
And then I definitely love, I don't know, I love the part where they're in the bar and it like starts playing, once again this kind of goes back to the soundtrack, Hungry Heart by Bruce Springsteen.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know, I just love the like dinginess of that bar, and like, but it's also like I feel like once you hit your 30s you get to a point where it's like you prefer to go to like a nice quiet dive bar with no people in it.
It's
That
so
just looks
true.
like the best place to like hang out with a couple friends.
It's so true. I mean, I mentioned the little kid part with like, you're a bitch, but my other favorite part is after he goes, kind of gets away from becoming a wedding singer, or he still needs money, he sings at
where he goes to the
mitzvah.
bank? Oh, the bar mitzvah.
The bar mitzvah
yeah.
part, and then he finds that little like chubby guy who's like, I like that girl, she doesn't want to dance with me, and he sets up this whole thing.
Right,
with
right,
Julia.
yeah.
I thought that was so funny. And he like grabs her ass and like, and just weird stuff like that. But then like I think when Robbie started dancing, he kind of like set this whole thing in motion. And it was kind of cheesy, but it was really cute too. That was a cute little part.
It almost seems like maybe too that part, like when they look at each other after like she dances with the kid, it's almost like, is that the part where they fall in love?
I kind of agree with you because like
there's like some kind of
totally a connection there, and it just set in motion their characters. Like they're willing, like they're just vibe well together. And I thought that was really sweet. It was kind of a cute transition, I guess, when you start realizing that obviously there's more to them. That part was cute.
Yeah, did you have like a least favorite part or a part that you thought could have been taken out maybe, or?
Not so much a least favorite part. I mean, I just, of course you hate when Linda shows up and basically takes advantage of Adam Stanley Robbie, and he wakes up like, what the hell did happen? Like, what about Julia? Like, but I mean, I don't know. Other than that, it just kind of shows the character again. It sets things in motion. Kind of like checks his reality of how he feels about her. But what about
definitely
you?
Bad timing. Well, for me, I think, like, definitely I love most of the movie. I think the only part that I don't like, but I mean, it works out, like, ties into a good ending, is the part where Adam Sandler at the end on the airplane, like, sings that song "Girl Old With You" to, like, to Julia.
You didn't like it? It's so cheesy.
I just think the song is fucking god awful.
Oh, it is so...
side with the
No,
like, I don't know, just
so
the way he
fucking
sings it, it's just
love
like ear
It
piercing.
is a little bit, and it's just so random.
But you know what? I think Billy Idol makes up for it.
That's
He's
what
like,
I was gonna
that wasn't
say.
a bad song. I'm just peeking on champagne, so I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm gonna get you hooked up with my recording artist or whatever.
I just like, he's like, is that Billy Idol?
Yeah.
Like, just has the
He's all
bottle of
drunk.
champagne, just like, ugh.
It's like he doesn't have his own plane, and then I just love how like he gets everyone like into this whole story and like set up, and then Quinkadinkly like she happened to be in Coach,
Right,
Julia ended
yeah.
up being on Coach. It's like okay, I mean that was cheesy, but
I know, it just goes to
love
show,
it.
Glenn.
I love it. I
Glenn
love
was a
that
cheap
cheesy part.
bastard.
Oh my god, he was, and then he
Like,
wouldn't even let her
Coach?
see the
Yeah, look out the window, grab me a
Yeah.
Heineken next time he comes back.
Exactly. I don't want you to have the windows.
It's like, hey, dude,
It's
you
like the little
dish.
things, like they talked about the little things that they mentioned, but oh my gosh, so
What's
sad.
crazy is that some of the actresses that were considered to play Julia Sullivan were, oh god,
Really?
the list was really long, but some of them were,
Gosh.
let's see, we got Natalie Portman,
Oh, that would have been awful.
Diane Lane, Christina Applegate, which is funny because you kind
Okay,
of
I
mentioned
could kind
her
of say I
name.
see that.
Yeah.
Damn, Lansing looks she'd be too old.
Cameron Diaz, Elizabeth Hurley, and then Katie Holmes, just to name a few.
I guess I could almost.
There's like a few, like honestly, I feel like Diane Lane might have been perhaps a little too old to play the
That's
part,
what I
but
was
that's the
thinking,
one
she's
that
way too old.
I would want to see the most because
I mean, yeah.
I'm kind of in love with Diane Lane. I mean, she's.
I mean, but the character of Julia was a
I just think Drew Barrymore captivated it so
well,
perfectly.
exactly.
That's what
like
made it
she's
so
just
special.
so like
yeah.
literally, she's just. I feel like that's who she is. She's so sweet and genuine.
Right. Yeah. And that's like how she kind of
Funny
genuinely
and
is in
just
person
naive
too.
a little bit,
Yeah.
but I mean, she was a waitress. That's all she really
Yeah.
was. So it's
I think they needed someone a little younger to play her.
that's
for
exactly
sure.
what I was gonna say. And her style and stuff was just so cute. Like I always loved looking back at the bar scene when she wore like a little skater dress with like the combat boots,
Right,
or like
yeah.
the pink. It's just so 90s. But I thought I read somewhere that actually the movie was set in 1985.
Yeah, no, it is.
Okay,
It's
see, I didn't
75.
catch that.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that till the second time.
It's funny. There was actually some trivia about that. That apparently Drew Barrymore's stylist was from, I can't remember which foreign country, but apparently like she wasn't aware of like the American 80s style as it was in the country she was from. So that's why Drew Barrymore's character's her attire kind of like ties in a little bit more 90s because the jean jacket that she's wearing with the butterfly,
Yes,
which they reference in the movie.
yes.
That was actually her real jacket, and like the director
way.
apparently was like, you know what, that's a cool jacket. Just keep it in. It goes with you. It suits
That's
the character
cool.
too.
Like, I always remember her like big stone necklace too, the black stone necklace with like the
Yeah, it's a
wire.
nice necklace,
It's very
yeah.
cute. Yeah, it's fun. But
And it's crazy too because apparently the role of Glenn Guglia was originally written with Jim Carrey in mind. And as much as I love Jim Carrey in like his 90s films, like especially Dumb and Dumber, I don't think Jim Carrey would have been good for that part.
I agree. You just kind of
It's
like
like he was too comedic
yes.
at that point.
This
I
guy
think,
just played asshole so
like
well.
Glenn, like the guy who played Glenn, which unfortunately I can't remember his name right now.
Did he ever play anything else? Like ever?
He played Mark Wahlberg's brother on a movie called Rockstar. And that movie was
I think I've never seen that.
terrible.
So he probably didn't go anywhere. I mean, he just fit
Yeah,
that
I mean, I
character
looked up
really
his
well.
IMDb, and honestly, like, there was nothing that stood out on it besides
Yeah.
Rockstar. But I mean, yeah, then another person, an actor that was supposed to play Glenn Guglia, they had Matthew Broderick in mind, who, everyone knows from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh my goodness.
I could
Same
almost
thing.
see that a little bit more than Jim
Maybe,
Carrey, but only
exactly.
because I don't like Matthew Broderick.
No,
that
I
much.
agree. So maybe he could kind of do that asshole role
Yeah.
too. But
It's kind of funny because, it's just funny how Jim Carrey and Matthew Broderick eventually ended up on screen together in Cable Guy, so that's kind of funny that both those people
wow,
were
that is-
considered for the
that is
antagonists of the
interesting.
movie.
To me, it's too iconic to have Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. You couldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I mean, they really were the perfect, like,
I agree. Like
woman
match,
and
I guess.
man, like, comedy romantic duo.
And I mean, the storyline really isn't complicated. It's very simple.
It really isn't, yeah, it is
It's
simple.
terms
Yeah, it's
like
just like
this
essentially two
love
people
story.
that fall
You're
in
with the
love.
wrong person, and then they both.
Yeah.
I mean, they're lucky in a way because they both could have just ended up with nobody, but they both, well, at least Robbie and Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore had each other. So when they broke up with their significant other, they were able to reconnect with somebody because that's hard when you realize you're not with the right person, you have no one to go
Right.
to.
Oh,
But it's
definitely,
it's a really cute love story with great music, fun fashion, but it's just fun.
Well, before we wrap up, I mean, one last thing I wanted to add is that Carrie Fisher Judd Apatow and Adam Sandler actually helped write this movie. So that's an interesting credit there. I mean, like, not just like Carrie Fisher, but Judd Apatow. I mean, like, he...
Gosh, nowadays too, even like
you can just tell he was going to do something great. Because I mean, like he wrote Heavyweights, or I think he directed Heavyweights actually, the '95 comedy classic,
I remember,
which explains kind of like the little bit of darkness to both Wedding Singer, you know, and Heavyweights too.
Well, before we close though, I was going to say some trivia. Do you remember what the little monster was of the nephew that ran through the kitchen when they were watching the Billy Idol song?
Freddy Krueger. Yeah.
He like
That's
draws
right.
A picture of Lydia as a devil. He's
Yeah,
like, that's
so at
me.
the time that movie was supposed to take place, that's like when the first movie had only been out. So just,
that's so funny.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so funny. Like, right? I mean, you can't tell if it's a boy or girl at that point, but I think it turns out little Petey was his name. And then the other thing was, do you remember the band name of Adam Sandler's Robbie's shirt when Linda woke up in his bed and he's like, take off my shirt? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. He says you're gonna before Van Halen, you jinx the band and they break up. But then like apparently a year later in '86,
right. I was gonna say
David
that.
Lee Roth left the band.
I thought that was really funny because I was like, there's gotta be something iconic about that shirt. And I was like, okay, it's Van Halen. So it's kind of just fun things to think about. But yeah, overall this movie is just so great.
Yeah, if you haven't seen The Wedding Singer, definitely recommend it. I personally think it's better than Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore.
I agree. Like, it's so timeless. Like, you could put it on. Like, the music alone carries it. The story's cute. I mean, Drew Barrymore's character carries it. Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah, like and the side characters carry very well. Supporting actors and even the antagonist adds a little bit of humor to it, despite his scumbagginess.
With Julia Gulia.
Yeah. Why is that funny?
I know, right? It's just so
well, anyways, tune in next time for episode 4. We will be reviewing The Goonies.
Woo!
Okay, I just want to warn you, when I wrote this, I was listening to the killer. You